Yeah.
Who else would you be talking to? Uh, I'm good. I slept in, so I'm kind of like, who you be talking to? I feel like, do you know when like
Now we're on
that
YouTube.
feeling of like the day is like disappearing and you're like stressed out about it and you have a lot of stuff to do and I just got up late and you know what I'm saying.
Dude, I know that feeling so well. Um, yeah. I think certain days, and I felt like this the other day, I'm like, you know what? I like almost wanted to call it a bust of a day, and then I was like, it just is what it is, and I was so out of it one particular day, and then I think got like a lot of sleep that night, felt a little better, but I, yeah. Okay, so now I feel you. We're on YouTube. Just gotta say to all YouTube peeps, apologies for being late for office hours. I was having some serious technical difficulties, and I think we're sorted out. So, IG fam, if you want to head over to YouTube, that'll be kind of the best place for us to hear clean sound if we're while we're playing other videos. Um, so yeah, good morning, everybody.
Yep.
Um, so it was super refreshing last week to actually be together in person. I kept thinking about like in our virtual world, like I'm really glad we can stay connected and we can all do office hours weekly. And Leo, you and I have been seeing each other a bunch on the screen. But honestly, it just felt like I had so much more energy last week when we were like in the same room, making stuff,
Yeah.
hitting the streets.
We got a lot done.
Yeah, it was like such a it's to me it was like a reminder of live music and how different it is to just like play it with the people you love in person.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah. So but we're still making it happen. I love it. We're all remotely together. Um Sax Gang, if you all have questions, hit us with it and let's get some questions going. Also, really exciting news that one of the content pieces that we made while we were together last week is dropping on our YouTube channel at noon. So make sure if you're not on YouTube right now, you could just go ahead and watch us on YouTube for office hours and then stay tuned for the premiere. So we can all watch it together and it's gonna be at noon. So just hang out on the tube. Um, yeah.
What?
So, yeah, it's a good question coming in on Two Saxy's channel. How did you both meet and come to create this beauty of Two Saxy? Oh, we are at beauty. How about that?
Yep. Sorry, I'm like half. Never mind. I was gonna say I'm half awake. No, I'm not half awake. I'm half
Did you get
asleep.
your coffee?
Yeah. I'm working. I'm working on
Okay,
it.
I need to get my glasses. So, everybody, we're booting up.
I
I
don't.
think I'm in like frantic mode because I just spent the last 15 minutes being like, we're on opposite ends of the spectrum. But I'm gonna get my glasses on so I can feel more
All right. I got
office
my
hour
glasses.
ease. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, this feels better. This feels better. Somebody wants to play Minecraft. Word up. Oh, there's another question coming in on how you guys met. I guess that seems to be the topic of the moment. Ooh, Professor Leo getting really. I like this look a lot.
Thanks. Yeah, it's a funny combination. Like, I don't know what. You know what I mean? It's not like from.
You also. You look like you could be in like a noir
Yeah, like
movie set right now.
you're always gonna regret it. You're gonna regret it, Jessica. If you don't come with me, you don't get on this train. You don't get on this train, you're gonna regret it, Jessica.
Oh,
Jessica.
Tommy. Oh, Tommy, I can't get on the train.
My name's not Tommy, okay?
I left my saxophone at home before I get on the train. What is your name, sir?
My name is Mr. Saxophone.
Oh, now I can get on the train. You
Yep.
are my saxophone.
Yes. Perfect. Yo, can I just say this hat? Like, one thing about like clothes I've noticed is like people, and when I say people, I mean me, have a tendency to like value clothes at how much they cost.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes I see something amazing, I'm like, that's just so amazing. I don't. It's not about the cost. But there's definitely times that I'm like, oh, it's like this is expensive. Like it almost feels like it's worth more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is worth more, I guess.
Especially if it's a designer label, right?
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
like I've had a lot of hats, and this hat, I got this hat for $8 at H&M.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's really one of the best hats I ever had. Just because it just I don't know. I mean, it's not like a nice hat, but I don't know. It's just very chill, and it's like it stays in form.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And maybe it's just the fact that like I know it's $8 and it doesn't make me like nervous. Because if it's like if I destroy it, then it's like it's $8.
Right.
I don't know. I really like hats, but I don't like traveling with them, and it's like
They get squished.
yeah, they get squished, and I don't want to bring a hat case.
Yeah. A hat case. Oh my God. Can you imagine trying to pack that up? Like,
I've
oh,
I've always wanted to wear those like that like really like Jewish part of Williamsburg-ish area where it's all Orthodox Jews.
yeah.
You know those hats they wear?
Those are epic.
I've always wanted to wear one of those hats, but like,
They're like,
is it
yeah,
is it cultural
right?
appropriation? Like, should I not? Would that be a big deal?
I don't know. I really don't know.
They're
That's a
just
really
so
good question.
awesome. I've always wanted to wear one.
What do y'all think? Would we? I I don't know. I mean, I feel like if you wore it and then you just got some really weird looks, you probably could get educated right there and then
Yeah,
with asking some questions, being like, I really like how this looks. Is it not appropriate for me to wear it?
yeah. This woman got mad at me one time for I had cornrows in my hair. She got mad at me.
Really? What did she say? Like you're not allowed to have cornrows?
She was driving and like, so it wasn't that much time, but she was just like, she's like, I know you're not doing that. I know you're not doing that with your hair. And I'm like, what? I, I'm like, I don't, I don't know how to. Is that a question? Like, I don't know how to like. I didn't know what to say. I was just kind of like
It's like,
frozen. She's like, I know you're not doing that with your hair. No, no, you're not doing that with your hair. And I was like, okay.
you're like, well, it is.
I mean, that's what I did. But the thing is, like, I don't know. Like, when I used to get my hair braided, it's just because I had, when you had that long hairstyle with it shaved, and then the middle and back, it's like, it looks kind of weird. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Like Skrillex?
Yeah, I used to have my hair used to be like much longer.
Oh, you just posted a pic. By the way, the IG that you just posted, that first photo,
Yeah.
did you just put makeup on, or is that like don't take this the wrong way. You look, you look feminine in it, and I'm like, wait, did he do like
Yeah, I was
did
wearing
you exaggerate
I
your
was wearing
features with an
makeup.
app?
I was
Okay, but
wearing
that's
makeup.
you, right? Just
Yeah,
with
it's me.
makeup.
With makeup, yeah.
You
Just
look,
weird makeup.
you honestly look pretty. I think if you were a girl, you'd look great. And you look
Thanks.
great as a guy too, but like it was just super wild. I'm like, did he do one of those app things? Because, and I'm like, no, I think this is just him with makeup and like with his hair a
Yeah,
certain way.
that
But I'm
was
like,
like
wow, if you were a girl, you'd look great.
yeah. So 5 years. That was 5 years ago. Uh, and it was that's when I was on that MTV show. Um,
Oh, okay, with
actually,
Aquafina.
yeah,
Dope.
actually, all the uh, all the guys in shops had makeup on that day. Uh,
Because you wanted to, or did the makeup crew put it on all of you?
no, it was actually Halloween,
Oh,
and
fun, fun,
we
fun.
were dressing up as like Motley Crue or like glam rock bands,
Okay.
like not necessarily Motley Crue, but that type of Kiss, that type of era band.
Yeah.
Um, and so it was. It's like I like. It's hard. I don't want to respond on Instagram, but like, because I don't want to respond to negative stuff because it doesn't really end well. But
Yeah.
it really does tick me off when dudes have like an issue with it. It's like very obviously them reflecting they have like insecurities about their own selves or possibly their sexuality or whatever. But there's definitely some dudes that were just like that looks so why like you don't have to do that. That looks so weird or
Dude,
like
I'm gonna interrupt you for 1 second.
yeah.
People on YouTube are saying they can barely hear you. You wanna like turn up your mic gain, maybe?
Oh.
They also said there's static all of a sudden. Is it still there, YouTube peeps? Is your let's try we'll try to because this is we don't want to miss a word.
It sorry, I
Oh,
didn't
that's
realize
good.
it was connected to my I sorry. I'm just sorry.
No, it's I mean
I messed
all
it up because I don't know. I was just thinking about Instagram and I was like, oh, I don't need my mic for Instagram, and I forgot that I'm
there, I think
dual.
can you all hear him better now? Is
Yeah, can you
wait,
hear me?
is the fan really distracting you guys or should we turn it off or is it do you have a fan on?
Yeah, but
They said it sounds like static.
it makes so little noise. Like
Yeah, I don't hear it very noisily. You want to just try turning it off for a second and see if it's
it's
unless you're
off.
gonna melt. Is that better, everybody, or does it make no difference?
I kind of hear some static actually.
Oh, that's way better. Wait, talk?
Talk. I hear static. It's kind of funny.
Didn't change. Not the same. Push on. No difference. Still hear it. Turning the fan made no difference. Okay, so turn your fan back on. That's weird. What's the static due to? Can you?
Maybe I'm gonna move my phone because
Yeah, see if that's. See if
sometimes
that
it's
does
like
anything. Oh, somebody
my
thinks it's me. Okay, wait.
yeah, because I hear it. I hear
You
it.
hear it?
So
Should I? You think it's in my mic? Maybe.
this is
Maybe.
hilarious.
Maybe.
This happens every week.
This happens ever. You think we? You think I'd? You think this shit would get sorry? You think it'd get easier?
Wait, I don't hear anymore.
Really? I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. It's not as loud as now. Okay. Well, keep us posted, everybody.
It's less loud. Yeah, it's less loud.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I have the same exact setup as last time. I can try turning my AC off. Let's see if that makes a difference.
It is weird. I hear like it sounds like windy almost.
Did that change anything? I feel like it didn't. I don't know. It might honestly be like the fan on my computer is running pretty hot for some reason. Yeah, I think Instagram peeps, you're fine, which is good. So, anyways, what were you saying, Leo?
Just that.
You guys were on MTV.
Me.
You had this certain look with your makeup.
Yeah, just that. It makes certain dudes that aren't comfortable with themselves feel the need to write trippy comments, but it's like they won't just full out say something super negative. They're just like I didn't recognize you. That like is that you? Is that a boy? I didn't even know that was a guy. It's just like, dude, you're just writing something vaguely negative. Like just chill out. I thought it was pretty obvious it was me wearing makeup. I don't what anybody could wear makeup. It's not a big
Yeah.
deal.
Makeup is really fun.
Yeah.
It's really
Makeup
fun.
is makeup is unisex, but and I think everything should be unisex. Like there shouldn't be like a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree.
Um,
I think,
and just like there's just so many like like not it's not that often. Okay, it's not okay. It's not that often, but a lot of times it's like where people are like, "Is Leo gay?" Like, is blah blah. It's just like I don't really. It's like what? Why does it matter? It's just like I don't mind answering it. Like, no, I happen to not be gay, but it's just like there's something about you that's making you care about what my sexuality is from the way I perform or something.
yeah.
Why is that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's up with that? Why does it matter?
That's
Why
a,
would that?
yeah.
Why would that? I just want to know because it feels like you're implying there's a negative connotation to being gay, um, which is just wild. Um,
Yeah.
I guess by wild I mean wrong. Wrong. Wild could be a good thing.
I think it's really inspiring that you as an, your sense of fashion and the way you express yourself is so authentically you, and as a man it's like even more unusual, and you just like doing your thing, and probably inspired some other dudes and
Yeah,
girls, but specifically dudes, to explore their fashion and their stuff. I mean, yeah, I really, really think one of the most fun things of being a performer is getting to, and I know you dress like this even when you're not on stage,
yeah, yeah,
but I think like makeup and fashion and all of these assets that we can really like, they're accessories. They're really fun and they're
yeah.
great to, yeah. You can be whoever you want to be as a performer and look however you want to look and act however you want to act, in a way that's different than regular life.
Yeah. It's just like, yeah, yeah, totally. It's just like it was like the one kid that wrote. He was like, "Is Leo like?" He's like, "No offense, but is Leo gay?" And it's like, what do you mean, no offense? Like, why would that be offensive? Like, why would you even say no offense? Like, why would you know what I mean? It's just like just so many people have been raised on like homophobia, and I mean that not in their necessarily their household, but like in like just like life and social situations, especially with males and just like people like exuding like toxic masculinity um where it's like oh like you're less manly if you're gay and that's something to be scared of and just so many people were like raised culturally that way,
Yeah.
including myself, and it's just like when you like think about it, it's so stupid and ridiculous. And like the whole thing of like, is this shirt gay? Or is this does this blah blah make me look gay? Or does this blah it's just like so hilarious. It's like you're the joke here. You're the joke. The person worried about whether your shirt looks too gay. That's what the joke is. It's like you. Like that's what's lame. Is you worrying about whether you look gay. Do you like how you look? Does it matter? You know?
Yeah.
And it's like, and then some people, and the counter argument people have been like, well, I don't want girls to think I'm gay, so they like, um, so they like me, and and I can get more girls or whatever. And it's like, if a girl thinks you look gay because you're wearing an outfit you like to wear, not the girl for you.
I was literally about to say, move on.
Um,
And I gotta say, from a female perspective, I think all of my closest male friends and the people that I like to work with most have a really good balance of masculine and feminine energy. And sometimes they're guys that might even have more feminine energy, and they're still, uh, these particular guys that I'm thinking of are not, they're straight, they're not gay. Um, but it's like they're not afraid of their feminine energy. And there's something that's very off putting to me about a guy. And this could be for a girl that has too much, not too much, has a lot of testosterone, but I find it mostly in my encounters with guys that just come in with so much, like, I'm so much masculine, overpowering energy. It's
Yeah.
just like, I'm like out the door, because a lot of times in collaboration, that's definitely not the right vibe, or, it's very off-putting. It can be. And so I think I tend to gravitate more towards the people. And a lot of times I think artists are more in tune with their different sides, their emotions, because we're playing, we're singing, we're writing about our feelings. And I one of the reasons I so love being in the creative community. But I think the most sexy thing is actually for a guy to totally be in touch with their feminine side. It's super attractive.
Yeah.
If you want to get girls, you guys, go channel that feminine energy. It's like, to me, that's like, you are the most manly when you are in touch with those different sides,
Yeah.
at least from an attractive, point of view.
Yeah.
Um,
I just think what's sexy is just being yourself, being totally confident in whatever that is, and
Absolutely.
not, you know, succumbing to pressure or social norms or whatever, and just finding your style. Like sometimes I feel like girls that um dress more like what men do usually, you know what I mean? Sometimes I think they look so cool.
Like masculine.
Yeah, I don't know if masculine's the right word, but
Yeah.
just like, like um I just don't know if the term tomboy is like a thing anymore, if that's like offensive. I don't know. You ever heard the term
I mean,
tomboy?
honestly, I just feel like everything in today's world could be offensive, so.
Yeah, that's why I'm
I
like
don't
scared.
know.
It's like
I don't know, man.
I'm scared to even say like women that dress like men, because I'm like, by saying that I'm like putting men in a box. They all dress this way.
This has really been on my mind lately, but I just literally think every single thing we are saying could be put in out of context. But
Yeah.
anyways, I
I
know what
mean,
you're
luckily
saying.
we're just like not that famous yet. But
Right,
if we
right,
were,
right.
I mean, when we are, we're gonna have to like really clean up
Oh my gosh, yeah.
our act.
Which,
Um,
that in itself is like kind of a bummer too, because I think there's such a realness right now that we're just, whatever, we're just talking. Maybe it's not all perfect, politically perfect of everything we're saying, but
yeah. I guess what I mean is like, um, to me, like uh let's say Ariana Grande, she dresses super feminine to me. That's what I think of. Or maybe Taylor Swift. That's like a feminine dressing person. I think of Billie Eilish is dressing more masculine, like super
yeah,
long shorts, super baggy stuff,
I see that.
very hip hop-esque. And
Yep, yep.
I think Ariana Grande and Billie Eilish both look super fucking awesome. Like, and I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like different people can just pull off different things, regardless of the what the average, you know.
And they
Um,
really own it. It's
yeah,
like, I think, somebody just wrote a comment that said, Tom said it goes hand in hand with confidence, clothing aside. If you're comfortable, then you're more confident in yourself. Like, absolutely. And then if you're rocking the clothes that you feel most confident in and the statements you want to say, like, I love that you just gave such, you know, opposites, as far as like looks, but they both, yeah, they're totally like owning it. Which I think
yeah,
is a very important part of performing, right? It's just like if you're on stage and you're owning whatever it is you're doing, even just playing one note versus, kind of tentatively playing something because you think it's going to be flashy and cool, but you don't really know why you're playing it. And maybe it's just like a lick that you learned in a music book or something you saw someone play on YouTube, but it doesn't have any like meaning or personality under it. You know, I'd rather see the person who's playing one note and just is like literally singing their heart out because
Yeah.
it means something.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Yeah, totally.
But
Um,
also I do want to say like um I do want to say that it has moved in like the right direction so much since I was a kid. Um like just I think society as a whole. And still a lot of messed up stuff, but I don't know. Strangely, like I don't know. Yeah, never mind. Never mind. I don't know how to word. Sometimes I'm like trying to word something and I feel like it could be taken the wrong way and I'm like working it out in my head and I'm just like I don't know how to say it.
do you
Like
ever feel like that in conversations that you just and conversations not on the camera, but like you start to go somewhere and you're like, ooh, I just like let me just bring this up and like tomorrow because it's not like fully
yeah, yeah, yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I feel
It's
you.
not I haven't
I feel you.
composed the whole
We'll
thing.
we'll revisit it at
Yeah.
some point. Okay, so awesome workshop last week, dude. Really like
Oh,
techno house sax workshop. Sax gang, was anybody there for that workshop? Because I know I learned some really cool stuff. I know you've been sending review videos back to the attendees, and yeah, honestly, it seems like some people, just based upon comments and messages, are already working on those really dope exercises.
yeah, I was going through all those emails to respond yesterday. Um I gotta say, like, I enjoy it, but it does take a lot of energy. Like, it was slightly more hard than I thought, just because it's like it's like especially when the players are good, it's
Yeah,
like, like I know this could be better, but what's the perfect way to explain it in a pretty
yeah,
simple way? You know what I mean? Like sometimes you just know, like if you just like have a dish at a 5-star restaurant or a 3-star restaurant, it's like it's better, but like you don't necessarily know what ingredients are needed to make the next step. So it's like it's really interesting going through the process. But it was honestly, I was just surprised by how exhausting it was, um, because I was just like, it takes a lot of brain power. Like
yeah.
I don't know. I heard something about like chess people in chess tournaments burn like thousands of calories every day in chess tournaments. Like it's something that you can't really measure, but I guess apparently you like burn calories from just like thinking really hard.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, I've
yeah,
never heard that. Oh, just
yeah.
the amount of.
All right,
Wow,
let me.
interesting. Yeah, I've never heard that. I
Um,
gotta say though, as you're looking that up, because I'm very fascinated, I was watching a couple of the watched a couple of your response videos because you had copied the workshop email. Um, and I just thought you were giving people very, I guess the reason why it's probably taking such brain power is you're really giving them very specific, awesome next step feedback. Um,
yeah,
and we got George Woolley online, and I was just going to use him as an example because George sent us, he was part of the workshop. He sent one of his tracks that he's working on.
yeah.
And
It was dope.
I took a listen, because I was like, oh, I want to see what he's up to. I thought it was super cool. And then I had given him my feedback, which was really like, I totally dug the track. There was one section that I thought he could be like, the way he could play it was, more on top of the beat.
Mm.
But honestly, that was kind of like, and that's just a very stylistic thing. I dug it as it is. And then I was curious to see what you said on the same track. So I watched that video that you sent him. And I just loved that you gave a tip about, you know, the big picture of the track and your thoughts on if it were to reach like more people, you know. And
Yeah.
yeah, that was
I
great.
I
Like I
always
was like, oh, cool. Yeah.
I always talk about, well, let me just tell you this chess thing and then
Oh
I'll
yeah,
move
yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It is wild. Over the course of an intense multi-day tournament, a chess grandmaster could burn up to 6,000 calories a day.
Oh
Robert
my gosh.
Sapolsky, Stanford professor of neurology and neurosurgery, told ESPN. Um,
Interesting.
right? So like,
Wow. And they're
but
just
I don't know how
sitting.
he's measuring that, but
That's question.
also it's like it's like really hard to eat 6,000 calories in a day. So are these chess players just like carb loading before the chess event? Um, but yeah, so
Wow.
that the thing I told George, I talk about this a lot with students or anybody, is like trying to make, because like when it comes to an opinion thing, it's like I don't just want to give my opinion on whether I like it. I want to give my opinion on whether I think that it will be a successful project and be able to reach the most amount of people
People.
possible.
Love that.
Um, if there's different types of fan bases, you can have a small fan base but a really strong fan base and be really successful artists. Like,
Yep.
I don't ever want to knock that because you can also have a ridiculous fan base, just be popular for a few years and really just lose it because the strength of the fans, it's kind of like having a lot of hair that's falling out or a little bit of hair that's really healthy and you know.
Dude, you with the analogy wins.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
That's such a great analogy. And I'm
So
glad you point that out. Yeah,
yeah.
because this is a good point for all of you thinking about your careers and the music that you make.
Yeah, so what I was just saying to George was I was like, I like the track personally because uh it was just cool and kind of like all over the place and like kind of experimental and there's just all these different sections. But I don't think it is I don't think it can be as successful as the quality of the music because it's a little bit too random. I don't know what the word I used was. I don't random's not right because there's just so many sections. If you
You're
just
talking about sections, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. If he focused on maybe having one section and then also like just like a catchy theme, like a catchy melody. I'm always trying to make catchy themes and melodies and
That's what people
um
sing along to. That's
yeah,
literally at when they stop the track, if they're whistling your theme or your melody, right? Then they're gonna want to replay it.
yeah. And like the thing is like a lot of people want to hear it's like a small percentage of people are going to want to hear you like shred. They just want to hear shred. They just
Thank
want to
you
hear
for
shred.
bringing that up. Yeah.
But not everybody just wants to hear you shred. A lot of
And certainly not for like the honestly like
yeah,
shred only works well probably in very poignant piece parts.
like
It's
I
all
really yeah, like have you ever heard of Big Gigantic before?
yeah.
So Dom is real good. That sax player, he's really good. Like I mean, I'm not I don't mean this bad way, but you might not necessarily know that from the recordings because he just produces it a lot and there's not like crazy sax solos.
I was gonna say I don't think I've ever not that I'm like deep into Big Gigantic, but I certainly never left the recordings being like, oh, he's a shredding saxophonist. But
Yeah.
I dig the sound
Yeah, yeah. But
and they have a
he's good though. He's pretty good. Like he could play. You know what I mean? Um he actually went to Manhattan School of Music.
oh wow. Is that
Yeah.
how you all know each other?
I actually don't know him,
Okay.
but but it's one of those like we have a lot of mutual friends. It almost feels like we know each other, but we never actually met.
Yeah.
Anyways, he I've seen his shows because we've played a lot of the same festivals and it's like he does way more like emceeing and hyping the crowd. Um
Interesting.
and
it's like, and so in the recordings, what I've noticed is like a lot of times they'll start shredding at the end of a song and it will just start panning out. And it's just like, it's funny because like to sax enthusiasts, it's just like, oh, what though? Like you
Don't
finally got
stop. Yeah.
you finally get the sax solo. Um, but it's like I think he just like thinks of it as being a pop thing, and it's like it's not. It's like Beyonce is not just like all the single ladies, all the single ladies, like
Yo, oh my god, that just literally made my day. That was such a hilarious analogy and so to the point. Can you just, yeah, I mean, that
yeah,
nobody can
like
sing along with, oh my God, that is so
yeah,
good.
it's like
Thank you.
name
Thank you.
yeah, name one top 40 song where there's just like a crazy solo in it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even like, I
It's
mean,
context. It's all about context.
yeah, it's like the closest thing I can think of is like, and it's even like with rap music that becomes popular, like, especially today, like, it's not like they're just like, it's like usually like a catchy few word thing. Um, but like, it's like pop stars are trying to get a popular record and like rap stars. I'm not saying all of them. I'm not trying to generalize everybody, but the ones that are really, really popular, they try to make a popular record. That's the goal. A lot of times, jazz musicians, the goal is to show everybody how good they are at their instrument.
Right. And I'm glad you're bringing this up because Sax Gang, it's like, we're not saying one's better than the other. You're talking about what is your musical goal? What is your
Yeah,
musical message? What do you want people to walk away with? Is it to have, yeah, like a popular hit record and a song that everyone's singing? Or like you're saying, okay, well, maybe if you just want to shred and play really jazzy things, you might also need to prepare that for a smaller audience, or like just know that you are a product. And I know artists don't like to hear this, right? Because we're all like, oh, we're creative beings. And I think creativity is very important. And it will get you to where you want to having an authentic artistic voice, but you also simultaneously want to think like this is my art that's going out to the world. And I'm talking about if you're in a point where you want to um, pursue this, as a professional artist. This might not be relevant to everybody watching, but if that's somewhere you want to go, you do have to think this is my product, this is my music, this is me. Like who is my audience? You know, who is this reaching? Is this something they would like? I think there's a lot of artists, and this is like a journey that I'm very much in right now artistically and will continue to grow in. But I think a lot of us just create stuff. We're like, I don't know. It's like, okay, cool. Like, okay, here we go, out to the world. Like, but don't think about those other aspects of like, who's it going to? Who's the audience? Like, who am I trying to reach? What do I want the sound? What is the goal of this?
yeah, yeah, exactly. And like, there's different, there's different ways of looking at it. You can, you can just make music that you like exclusively and just do it exactly how you want.
Yep.
Um, and I've definitely gone too dark on the side of um trying to please an audience or trying to make yo, what's poppin', Ian? Sorry, I just saw Ian Gray on chat. That's my dog. Um you can make music that is just satisfying what you want and not worry about it. And because sometimes like when I trip too much about trying to make a track that is like like Too Many Zoos was doing like this label deal and we were trying to make these tracks and they're like no, like it needs to be more like this. It needs okay, everyone's listening to this type of music. It needs more like this, more like this, more like this. And
Please
it's
make
like
it like, yeah, right.
we're
Now
just like
you're getting boxed in.
yeah, Matt and I were stressed out just like making all these songs that we weren't necessarily that into. We were just like trying to make songs. Like for example, like let me just talk about Warriors, the song Warriors, Too Many Zoos song Warriors, probably our most popular song. It just came really organically, like the song came just super organically to us. We all went to go see the Golden State Warriors in San Francisco or in Oakland, and that game, they broke the record for most NBA wins in a regular season. And
Nice,
Steph
nice.
Curry was just like hitting threes. Like it was it was really,
Wow.
none of us are Golden State Warrior fans, but it was just super inspiring. And we came back, we had kind of thought of this melody, we kind of thought of this vibe. We made that song that night,
Ah, love it.
and it was very different than the rest of our music. That became popular, and then it's like we had this label vibe where it worked out really well with Warriors, but like we couldn't like rewrite a Warriors. Like it just didn't, you know what I mean? We even tried like legit like trying to just write it with slightly different notes, like da 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 da, da, da. Like we tried so hard, and then we tried doing things that are similar, and everything's a learning process. I'm not, I don't regret anything I've done, but it just, sometimes you can't, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you
I'm
can't
glad you.
just
I'm really glad you bring that up because yeah, it's like a lot of times your most popular thing is going to be what record labels or the industry is going to be like, oh, more of that. And
more of that. Yeah.
one of my songs that's probably one of my. I think it's the most streamed um, on Spotify. It just kind of took off on its own. Got a lot of like millions of plays at this point. It's a folk singer-songwriter song called "Feels Like Home," and it kind of I play 8 bars of sax on it. It's all vocals. And Elliot Skinner, unbelievable singer-songwriter. You guys,
You didn't play a shredding sax solo on it?
it's literally the most simple sax line I've ever played. And when I initially was working on "Feels Like Home," I had producers that were just like, take the sax out completely. They were like, but I was like, I was listening. I remember when I wrote the song, I was listening to Justin Bieber's "Love Yourself,"
Uh-huh.
and I just
The
love the
trumpet part.
guitar, yeah, and the trumpet part. And I just like when I initially wrote the song, I was listening to Biebs, and I was like, I think this would be a really simple, beautiful sax line. And when I decided to record it in the studio, I had so many opinions, in my brain because different producers had heard it, and I'm like, like, F it. I'm just gonna go in and record its initial, like, exactly the way I wrote it. Because people were like, take that refrain out, like, do that. And it's like whatever country sax, but it's got like 8 bars, and people have literally been like, I love the saxophone for 8 bars in there, and it just. But you know, to your point, it's just an interesting thing to be able to like one of the most popular things becoming it's like in a very different style, and then since then people are like, oh, can we get more of that? And it's like in my brain I'm like, oh, but I do like a very jazzy thing, so but this is a very like singer songwriter country thing. And then I realized that fans are not necessarily like dividing things in their brain genre wise like I am. They're loving whatever, all that, or maybe specific people are following this, and if I were to come out with like a singer songwriter album, I'd brand it like in a certain way or whatever. But it was a surprise to me, definitely, like because stylistically, it's like, hmm, this is definitely different than my usual thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. And it's cool. I mean, it kind of shows you why it's important to go outside of the box, you know, and
Experiment.
try other things like um when so I just like, I feel like I have, it's like I have this like, it's like I have a deck of cards, and like Beyonce is just like in my deck of cards, and I'm just like, all right, when am I gonna put down the Beyonce card? I just feel like that's like my, like the other day, like Pasha was like feel free to name drop, you know,
You're like,
and I was just like Beyonce, like so
you're like, oh, funny, oh, perfect timing. You should ask. Oh
like
yeah, dude, lay it
yeah,
on us. Lay
so
it on us.
so when Beyonce's, we were in the studio with Beyonce's musical director, shout out to, why can I not remember his name? Sorry, I'm blanking, but he is, man, that guy, that guy. He's got cool style, man. He got like,
Proper shout out. Proper
he's just
shout
got
out.
like j jumpsuits and like Nike kit, like best kicks, like
Pretty cool.
you know that like jump, like the matching jumpsuit kick thing. It's a lot. Um,
That's what's
it's
up.
dope.
That's what's up.
So, anyways, he was in the studio, and he was kind of directing me to like what to record, and it was like, I mean, we recorded for like 5 hours. Like we were just recording, boom, boom, playing, playing, and we were playing over Lemonade. And at the time, these were like brand new tracks, which was like so exciting. Like I was like freaking out.
Like literally
Um,
nobody had heard them except for the
yeah,
inner family.
yeah. So like
That's the shiznit.
so I was playing great. I was like, like, and
Wait,
like I
over
was,
the interludes or over her voice? Were they just like play, or did they give you a
no,
specific part?
actually, yeah, no, it was like not. I think he took, I think when we were recording, he took the vocals out.
Okay.
Um, like, because I remember hearing the vocals, but I don't think when we were recording, the vocals were in like, because he was just like, I'll play whatever you feel, you know? And at
Okay.
first, I was just legit like,
Right.
but like, I also was like, I was nervous and I was trying to impress him.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it just came out in this just like, um, and it was
Like
just
a.
like, I know he was like, at one point, he was just like, try something a little more like simple and like bluesy or something. And I was just like, I was like playing something like and he just like maybe like less notes.
He's like restraint, restraint. He's just like
and
pulling it back, pulling it back, pulling it
and
back.
then I was just like and he's just like even less. And so I ended up with I ended up with ba ba da 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 ba ba da 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 ba da 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 ba ba da da. And I remember playing that line and like and I'm really not trying to hate because I do like the record a lot and I think it fit really well, but I remember thinking like this is so corny, like this, you know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
then like months went by and I was like there's no way I made it on the album. There's no way. There's just no way. Like that was so lame. That was so my friend calls me up and he's like, "Dude, I think you're just like playing Barry sax over like the whole bridge of like a song." And I'm like, "Is it like a country sounding song?" And he's like, "Yeah, because like that was a country song."
Wow.
And it was like, and people, and it's so funny because sometimes people call me like, "Oh my God, your work with Beyonce is like incredible." And I'm like, "Really? Like, did you hear the part? Like, you know what I mean?" I'm like, "It's a fine sax part, but you know, um, but then when we actually performed at the Country Music Awards,
Yeah.
I actually did spice it up a little bit. And what I can tell you is a lot of people have different opinions about like or information about like whether or not pop stars perform at these things because I'm sure it varies. I can tell you 1,000,000% sure Beyonce was that was all live on that Country Music Awards. I don't know if that's what she does
Wow.
every time, but I'm
Yeah.
100% sure. So like
That's
when people talk
that's
about like lip syncing and stuff, um, you know what I mean? Like it just like it what I know for sure because she like did different stuff than she ever did in rehearsal and like she was like
love
riffing and
hearing
stuff.
that. Oh my gosh. Queen, queen. Um, y'all, we want to make sure that you see the two Saxy cover premiere, which is happening in 2 minutes on our YouTube.
Oh my
So
God.
let's end here. Let's all have a watch party. By the way, dude, can you do next Friday? Office
Yes.
hours? All right, so we're on, everybody. Send us your videos. We're going to get it lined up without
Yeah.
all these technical glitches. We'll be back, but I think this conversation was really
Yeah.
awesome.
I hope everybody got something out of it.
I hope so too. And I'm seeing already comments that people are like, they're asking questions about, what we're talking about. Because this is some big picture
Yeah.
artistic statement stuff, which is great for all of y'all
And
to learn.
also, I want to say anytime I'm getting on my soapbox and rambling and stuff, just realize I want you to prove me wrong. Like when I have my own opinions about music industry being like there's no top 40 songs that have a shredding sax solo over giant steps. Like I if you are the first person to do that, that will make my life. So
Dude,
don't think that I'm closed-minded. I want that to happen. So prove
not
me wrong.
only that, prove him wrong, and we will add that track to all of the Two Saxy playlists from the workshop. Because
And we'll cover it.
I want to hear that, and we'll cover it.
And we'll
Yeah.
cover it.
All right,
All right.
y'all. Go watch the 2 Saxy vid happening right now on our YouTube.
All
Thanks for
right.
joining for Office Hours. Peace, everybody.
Peace.